What's going on, guys? Welcome back to WWE Network and Chill, where I, Graham Chiesa Matthews, break down all the original content I watch on the WWE Network. And today we're talking the latest episode of Uncool with Alexa Bliss, featuring none other than Tyler Breeze. This was a great episode. I thoroughly enjoyed this. It was only around 37 minutes long. And by the way, when I say latest episode, as I say every week, this is only what WWE put up on the WWE YouTube channel and also on the WWE Network. The latest episode is actually up right now on the podcast feed or whatever. I don't listen to the podcast version. I just watch the video version, which is why I review it. So you can check that out right now. I forgot who the guest this week was. I know it's a WWE superstar. I forgot who it was. But the video version this week was Tyler Breeze. And this was fucking great. Tyler Breeze, I knew he was a cool guy. I didn't know he was as funny as he is. I legitimately laughed out loud at several points during this episode. And the cool thing about this one was that it was over in person. It wasn't over Zoom or over the phone or whatever, like a lot of the other episodes. Like, I don't know, for example, why they needed to do the Alexa Bliss, Ryan Cabrera one over Zoom. I don't know if they live together. I know they're dating, but I'm sure they see each other a lot. So I'm not really sure why that would have to be over Zoom. But like the Bellas ones was over Zoom. The Miz one was in person. But maybe because they filmed all those in the middle of the pandemic, and we're still in the middle of it, of course, but maybe that was a couple of months ago, and now that she's seeing more of these people in person at the PC and stuff like that and at the Thunderdome, then it's okay. I don't know, but this one was in person, and it definitely makes a difference, and it made the episode that much more enjoyable. So we kick off the episode with Alexa Bliss saying that she knows the real Tyler Breeze. He's not as cool as he claims to be, is basically what she says here. And she asks him right off the bat, do you think you're cool? Have you ever thought you were uncool? He said, I don't really look at it like that. I've always been whatever people perceive me to be. That's what he said. However people perceive me. He used to play hockey growing up, and he used to have like the long hair and the hockey helmet and whatever. That was kind of his look. Growing up watching wrestling, the one wrestler that really inspired him and that he idolized the most was Jeff Hardy. So growing up, at one point he dyed his hair red, thinking it would be cool. He had like the long blonde hair, dye it red like Jeff Hardy. It's going to look awesome. Not knowing that after a week it would go pink. So after a while, not so awesome. He praised his friends for not abandoning him during that point, but he could not get a girlfriend to save his life because he had pink hair, and that's not really a cool thing to do. He said, watching wrestling and whatever, he grew up wanting to be a wrestler, but he was super skinny growing up, he said. He tells this amazing story. So Alexa asks him, do you have any embarrassing stories that you can share? He tells this incredibly relatable story to any guy. Alexa said she's never heard of this before. She's never experienced this before, which I find very hard to believe. Maybe not for herself, but for like other guys that she's been with. Apparently, she's never heard of this phenomenon before. That being farting while on a date. Farting while on a date. So that has happened to Tyler Breeze multiple times. But the very first time that it happened, that was easily the most embarrassing. He told a story about how like there were kids from a school that he either just moved to or just got to know for the first time. Some girl named Lauren, and they kind of liked each other. And I think he was at her house or vice versa, and they were on the couch, and he was kind of getting to the part where he was going to tell her that he liked her. And at one point he laughed, but he farted at the same time. Now I thought initially when he said this that he farted because he knew he was about to laugh. And you know, people, I mean, maybe not everyone, apparently Alexa Bliss doesn't. Some people try to like time their farts with how they're walking, so you can't really hear it, which I think is incredibly dumb. That never actually works. So more realistically, other people try to laugh and then fart at the same time. If it's not going to be like a loud, evident fart, I mean, this is disgusting, by the way, but I find this incredibly relatable as a guy, and I thought this story was great. I thought he was timing it with the laugh. He actually didn't. He farted because he laughed, and it was an accident. And he doesn't know to this day if Lauren ever found out, if Lauren ever knew that he farted. He didn't acknowledge it. She took it like a champ and just moved on. She never said anything about it ever. And I don't know what the aftermath was of this relationship that he had with this girl named Lauren, but I thought the story itself was hilarious. Bliss said that she's the type of person to just call him out immediately. If that happened with her, I mean, she's always been an asshole, she said, where if it happened with her, she would just call out the guy and, like, laugh about it with him. Not, like, make fun of him, but acknowledge it and just kind of laugh it off. Tyler was incredibly embarrassed, and he just dies laughing thinking about it, which made me laugh. Alexa Bliss also tells a story, which I never knew this, that apparently when girls do drop kicks, they pee a little bit. Maybe not like the first time, but like she said that William Regal was telling her to do like the comeback drop kicks. And she had to do like 5 or 6 in a row, and on the 3rd or 4th one, she peed a little bit, and she could feel herself starting to pee. And she was even warned by Sarah Amato beforehand that she would have to pee, and she did. And it's still something that she thinks about to this day, making sure that she doesn't have to pee before she goes out to do a match, because she does like the, what is it called? The Twisted Bliss is her finisher. You would think that would be what causes her to pee, but it actually doesn't because she lands on her thighs. But doing a drop kick does. Apparently that's a girl thing. Tyler Breeze didn't know that. I didn't know that. I thought that was somewhat fascinating. And it actually happened to her while she was doing like the comeback drop kicks, like I said, in a match or like a exhibition or something with Charlotte. And she was really embarrassed. For Tyler, he's never peed in the ring before, never pooped in the ring. A lot of people that he knows has or have before. He has not, but he did almost throw up a couple times, including one time against Sami Zayn. Actually, a takeover. At the first takeover, not a rival, but the subsequent special when he faced Sami Zayn one-on-one. They had a great match. There was a spot, and they kind of show it in the podcast, if you watch it on the network or on YouTube, where he super kicks Sami, and he falls on top of him, and he kind of like looks forward because he thought he was about to puke just from being blown up. Not from like drinking the night before, but because he was blown up. It happened again at like a house show, I think, in a match that he had with Dolph Ziggler. He threw up like the entire night during intermission, backstage. He thought he was going to throw up during the match. He didn't, thankfully. He thought he would. And apparently it was on a tour where a lot of people threw up, I guess. A lot of people got sick. But thankfully, during the match itself, he did not, which was good. Alexa even says that during a match one time, and she doesn't say who it is because they're not with the company anymore, but she did like that back spring knee salt thing, if you want to call it that, where she like does the knees and then she does like a backflip and she lands the knees first on their stomach. She does that signature move of hers. She did it on a girl one time, and in doing that move, because it landed right on her stomach, it didn't make her pee, but it made her fart. And she was really embarrassed. She was like traumatized from it in the moment. The referee could even smell it after counting the 1, 2, 3. He's like, what the hell is that? And she was like traumatized, which was pretty funny. So he talks about how he can't dance to save his life. And obviously not a lot of people can dance. I can't fucking dance, but I dance anyway because it's fun. He just doesn't want to dance at all. He does the safest dance possible, he said, that he learned from the movie Hitch with Will Smith, I think, and Kevin James that came out years and years ago. So that's how we learned how to dance, doing the safest dance possible. Because if he actually goes out there and does like the rhythm and shit, he looks incredibly embarrassing and stupid. But a lot of people look stupid, but you just kind of get over it. He's not the type of person to do that, apparently. He talks about Footloose and how his sister kind of grew up doing that and how he learned some of the moves from that. It didn't exactly work out. He doesn't like having all eyes on him. You know, in the ring, it makes sense for him, but like when he's cutting a promo, that's incredibly nerve-wracking for him. So he never tries to put himself in those sort of situations. He never dressed up as a wrestler for Halloween, which kind of makes sense. Me growing up being a fan, I never, dressed up as a wrestler. I did Dean Ambrose, kind of like a cosplay a couple of years ago, but like as a kid, I was never a wrestler. He actually said he stopped trick-or-treating early, at the age of like 10, because he thought it just wasn't cool anymore. Which you would think a lot. I fucking trick-or-treated until I was in high school because I wanted the candy. Because I wanted the candy. Like, he stopped when he was in like 5th or 6th grade. That's around the time that he stopped. Alexa Bliss said that she stopped at like 13. I stopped when I was in high school, a couple of years after that, just because I liked the candy. But he said, yeah, he stopped trick-or-treating real early, scared of sharks. He told a great story about how he was a kid. He hated the buttons that are on the front of boxers, like in the crotch area. He hated that. He said it was uncomfortable or something. I have no idea why. So he sewed the buttons on his boxers shut. He would sew the front of his boxers shut. His dad got pissed, told him to stop doing it. He made him stop doing it. And he got really upset. He went into his room. He just smashed his face down on the pillow. And on his pillow was a beetle bug. So he caught this beetle bug in his hand. He, stormed out of the room crying. His dad came in to find out what was going on. He started laughing as he realized how dumb it was. This is what made me really laugh. So he told a story about how he has a lot of clothes. Not really a story, it was more of a thing. He owns a lot of clothes, owns a lot of t-shirts. I can relate to that. I feel like me and him are very similar. I own a lot of t-shirts too. I'm looking at a pile of them right next to me right now as I record this. So, so he told this thing that he does where he used to have a shirt chart growing up to kind of determine when he wore what. Like, again, I've done that too. It's incredibly stupid, but I can relate to that. This I have not done. I will try to cycle out shirts that I know I haven't worn in a while. I try to do that too. His reasoning behind doing that, when he does laundry, he puts the new shirts at the bottom because he puts on shirts that he hasn't worn in a while because he doesn't want to hurt that shirt's feelings. And as soon as he said that, and as soon as I heard that, I just died laughing. I thought that was so fucking funny. He was very organized as a kid, he said. He used to barricade his room so people wouldn't come in and mess it up. God, this was hilarious. He's a bit more relaxed now, but he will still do the shirt thing, he said. Alexa admits to even packing way too many backups while she travels. She used to have her clothes, backup clothes, and then like backup clothes. She doesn't do that anymore. And they're making growth in both areas, both Tyler and Alexa. And as far as what he would tell his younger self, just to keep doing what he's doing. And of course everyone says that, but it's funny for him because he's still kind of the same way now. He's a really funny guy. I thoroughly enjoyed this episode, like I said earlier. Tyler Breeze is fucking hilarious, so definitely check out this episode. It only clocks in at around 37 minutes. Really not that long. Like the Bella Twins one was like 53 or something. 53, 54, 55 minutes. And I was bored as shit listening to it. It was definitely one of the weaker episodes. This one was great. Was not expecting it to be great, but it was very entertaining. So check it out right now on the WWE Network or on WWE's YouTube channel. Be sure to like this video, drop a comment, share the video, and subscribe to the channel for more daily content. Hit that bell button as well to be notified every time a new video goes up. And that's about it. I was going to say that there was an interview that I did this past week that I'm going to reveal. I think is already actually up. I think I actually already reviewed it, or revealed it rather, on Twitter by the time this video goes up. I'll just say it right now with Bianca Belair. I got to interview Bianca Belair for my grand 50th interview of 2020. Big milestone. That was supposed to go up today. We're actually pushing the article out next week instead. So the audio of that interview, which was a lot of fun, she's a great person. We had a great conversation. That's going to come out, the audio of that interview, in addition to the article version on Bleacher Report. Both will be out next Thursday, we're thinking right now. So about a week from now, but that's why you should subscribe to hear the exclusive interview with Bianca Belair. It's a really, really good interview coming next Thursday here to the channel. And from this past week, I got the chance to interview Johnny Gargano, the all-new NXT North American Champion. That interview is also up right now on the channel from Wednesday, so check that out when you get a chance as well. Have a great one, guys. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'm Graham G.S. Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.